Don't you die on me. Sky's voice cut through the rain like a scream. 13 years old, barefoot, soaking wet. Her small hands wrapped tight around the man's jacket collar, pulling with everything she had. The dog beside her, no name, just a stray, bit down on the man's sleeve and yanked hard, growling deep. The man was slumped. Unconscious. Blood running down his face. The car behind them was already burning. Flames climbing higher. Smoke choking the air. Come on. Sky screamed, her voice cracking as she dragged him across the wet pavement. I didn't come this far just to watch you burn. The front of the car looked like it had been crushed by a giant fist. The windshield shattered into 1,000 pieces. Metal twisted and bent in ways metal shouldn't bend. This wasn't just a crash. This was something else. They cut your brakes, mister, Sky said, breathing hard, still pulling. I heard them talking. 2 men. Before you came. They said, he won't make it past the bridge. This wasn't no accident. Somebody wanted you dead. The man groaned. Barely. His eyes tried to open but couldn't. A loud pop echoed from the car. The dog yelped and jumped back. Move, boy. Move. Sky screamed. With one final pull, muscles burning, lungs screaming, Sky and the dog yanked the man's body clear of the car. 2 seconds later, the whole thing exploded. Hey everyone, welcome back to Top Story. If you're new here, you just walked into something special. This channel, we tell stories that hit different. Stories about real courage. Real sacrifice. Real people who did the impossible when the world said they couldn't. And to my subscribers, my day ones, thank you. Seriously. You show up every single week. You comment. You share. You make this channel what it is. I don't take that for granted. Not for a second. Before we dive in, let me say a quick prayer for all of you watching right now. May God bless you wherever you are. May He protect your family, your health, and your future. May He open doors that no man can shut and give you strength for whatever battles you're facing today. May His favor follow you, His peace guard your heart, and His grace cover every mistake. In Jesus' name, Amen. Alright. Now let's get into this story. Because what you're about to hear, it's going to change the way you see kindness, betrayal, and revenge forever. Under the old bridge, Sky slept on a piece of cardboard, her thin blanket pulled up to her chin. She was used to the sounds of the city, cars, trains, voices that didn't care. But tonight felt different. The air was too still. Too heavy. Then it happened. Screeching tires. A loud crash. Metal smashing into metal. Glass breaking everywhere. Sky jumped up, heart pounding in her chest. The sound came from the road above. For a moment she just stood there, frozen. Then she ran toward it. When she reached the bridge's edge, her breath caught in her throat. A black car had slammed into the barrier. Smoke rose from the hood in thick clouds. Flames started small, then grew fast. Real fast. Someone's in there, she said to herself. She ran closer. Heat hit her face hard. Through the windshield, she saw a man inside, slumped over the steering wheel. Blood ran down his face. Hey! Hey, can you hear me? She shouted. No answer. Sky grabbed the door handle and pulled. It didn't move. She yanked again, harder this time, but it was jammed tight. The smoke got thicker, making her cough. She looked around fast, grabbed a piece of metal from the road, and smashed it against the window. Bang! Nothing. Bang again. The glass cracked. One more time, and it broke, tiny pieces spraying everywhere. Hot smoke poured out. She coughed hard, eyes burning. "Come on, don't die," she said under her breath. She reached inside, unbuckled his seatbelt, and tried to pull him out. He was heavy. Too heavy for her small arms. She dug her heels into the ground and pulled with everything she had. The man groaned weak, his body limp like dead weight. The car's fire grew louder. Like it was roaring at her. Screaming. "Please move," she cried. "Please." With one last pull, his shoulder slipped free. Then another tug, and he fell halfway out the window. Sky grabbed his jacket and dragged him onto the wet road. The second his feet hit the ground, the front of the car exploded. The blast threw them both forward. Sky hit the street hard. Ears ringing. Chest burning. She rolled over and saw fire climb into the sky like a giant hand reaching up. Rain hissed against the flames, but it wasn't enough. The whole car was burning now. The man groaned beside her. She crawled to him, still coughing. "You're okay," she said, shaking his shoulder. "You're fine." He blinked slow, eyes lost and confused. "Who are you?" he whispered. "Doesn't matter," Sky said, still trying to catch her breath. "You're alive." Sirens started wailing in the distance. Blue lights flashed across the wet street. Sky stood up fast, backing away. The police would come. She didn't want to be there when they did. But the man reached out weak. "Wait, what's your name?" She stopped. Rain washed the soot off her face. "Sky," she said soft, and then she turned and ran into the night. Hours later, the man woke up in a hospital bed. Bright lights. White walls. Machines beeping beside him. His body hurt all over. His throat felt like sandpaper. A nurse was checking his chart when she saw him open his eyes. "You're lucky to be alive, sir," she said nice. "You were pulled out just in time before the car blew up." He blinked, confused. His head was foggy. "Pulled out? By who?" The nurse smiled a little. "Firefighters found you on the road when they got there. There was no one else around." He frowned. "No. There was someone. A girl." She tilted her head. "What girl?" He looked around the room, trying to remember. Smoke. Rain. A small hand pulling him out. Fire everywhere. "She was young," he said slow. "Maybe 13. She saved me." The nurse shrugged gentle. "Maybe she left before the police came." When she walked out, the man, Graham Ward, turned his head to the small table beside the bed. Someone had put a folded piece of his torn jacket there. He picked it up slow. His fingers moved over the fabric. Then he froze. His pocket. The inside pocket. It was empty. The chip. It was gone. Graham's chest got tight. His breathing picked up. He felt around the jacket again. Nothing. He checked the table. The drawer. Under the pillow. Gone. "No, no, no," he whispered, panic filling his voice. That chip wasn't just important. It was everything. It held secrets that could destroy his company. Secrets that could put him in prison for life. Secrets that powerful people would kill to keep buried. And some homeless girl had it. He didn't know that at the same time, far away under the same bridge, Sky was staring at the same kind of light. The rain hadn't stopped. Sky sat with her stray dog beside a trash fire. The dog, she never gave him a name, just called him, Boy, laid his head on her lap. She held the small chip she'd taken from the man's pocket before she ran. She didn't steal for fun. Just survival. And this thing didn't even look like it was worth money. It looked weird. Dangerous, even. The chip pulsed soft. Once every few seconds. A blue light, then nothing. Then again. She turned it over in her hand. "What are you?" she whispered. The dog barked soft, then rested his head back down. Sky stared at it. She'd been on the streets long enough to know when something was trouble. And this chip? This was trouble. But she didn't know how much. Not yet. For 2 days, Sky stayed quiet. Hiding in the shadows. Sleeping in corners of old buildings. Moving from spot to spot like she always did. But things changed fast. Strange men started showing up around the area. Asking about her. They showed her picture to shopkeepers. To other homeless people. To anyone who'd listen. "She's the one," they'd say, holding up a phone with her face on it. "You seen this girl?" Sky heard about it from the others on the street. Word traveled fast when you lived outside. Someone was looking for her. And they weren't cops. She knew she had to move. Had to get out. That night, she packed her few things in her old backpack. Pulled it tight to her chest. The rain followed her like it had nowhere else to go. She walked through empty alleys, keeping her head down. The dog walked beside her, ears up, alert. A car slowed behind her. Then another one blocked her from the front. Sky's heart dropped. 2 men stepped out. Both wearing black jackets. Both staring right at her. "Sky, right?" one said. His voice was calm, but his eyes weren't. "You've got something that doesn't belong to you." She didn't answer. Just stood there, frozen. "Listen," the other man said, stepping closer, "we're not here to hurt you. Just give us what you took." Her fingers went tight around the chip inside her pocket. "You mean this?" she asked quiet. Their eyes lit up. "Yeah, that's it. Hand it over." She shook her head. "No." The taller man sighed. "I was hoping you'd say that." He stepped forward fast, but the dog jumped between them, growling deep and mean. The man kicked hard, and the dog yelped loud, hitting the ground. "No!" Sky screamed. She swung her backpack at him and ran. "Get her," the man yelled. Sky ran like her life depended on it. Because it did. She ran through puddles, feet slipping on wet ground. Her lungs burned. She turned corners fast, climbed fences, pushed through trash bins. The city blurred around her. All noise and rain and fear. She didn't stop until she reached the docks. Dark. Empty. Water moving like black glass. She ducked inside an old warehouse, hiding behind metal boxes. Her heart wouldn't slow down. She pressed her hand to her chest, trying to breathe quiet. When the sound of footsteps finally faded, she pulled the chip from her pocket again. Its blue light flashed faster now. Like a heartbeat. Then, all of a sudden, something appeared above it. A picture made of light. Numbers. Files. And one name that kept showing up over and over. Graham Ward. The man she'd saved. "What is this thing?" she whispered, staring at the floating words and pictures. Across the city, in a tall building with a view of everything, Graham Ward sat at his desk. His face was pale. His arm was wrapped in bandages. But his eyes were glued to his computer screen. Files from his company's private system were disappearing. One after another. Just, gone. His security team said it was someone on the inside. But Graham knew better. Every file that vanished was connected to the same project. The same secret. PX-19B. The same code written on the chip. His phone buzzed on the desk. A message lit up the screen. "She has it." Graham's chest got tight. His jaw clenched. The girl from the crash. The one who saved him. He grabbed his coat and walked out. When morning came, Sky was still at the warehouse. She sat on the cold floor with her knees pulled up, staring at the soft blue light of the chip. The dog was beside her, breathing soft. Her mind kept going back to the night of the fire. The heat. The noise. The way the world looked like it was ending. And yet she went in anyway. Why? She didn't know. Maybe she was just tired of watching bad things happen and doing nothing. The dog's ears moved. He lifted his head and looked toward the door. Sky looked up. A shadow moved by the doorway. "Don't be scared," a voice said. It was him. Graham. His arm was in a sling. His face looked tired. But his eyes were kind. "You shouldn't be here," Sky said. "I had to find you. You sent those men after me." "I didn't," he said quick. "They work for someone else. Someone who wants that chip." Sky held it up. "Then what is it?" Graham stepped closer, slow. "Careful. It's proof. Evidence of things my company did. They built something that could erase people. Erase their records. Their names. Their whole lives. You found the only copy left. Why should I believe you?" "Because they tried to kill me too," he said quiet. "You think that crash was an accident?" She stared at him hard, trying to read his face. Trying to see if he was lying. "So what happens now?" she asked. Before he could answer, a door slammed open behind him. Men in black jackets ran in, guns out. "Hand it over," one shouted. Graham pushed Sky behind him. "Run." "No," she said. The men started shooting. Bullets hit the metal boxes. Sparks flew everywhere. The dog barked like crazy. Sky grabbed a piece of metal and threw it at a light switch. The room went dark except for flashes of gunfire. Graham pulled her toward the back door. "Go." They ran through the rain toward the water. "Give me the chip." Graham yelled over the noise of the storm. Sky shook her head. "They'll kill you. They'll kill you." She stopped running. Turned toward the black water. And threw the chip as far as she could. It flew through the air and vanished into the waves with one last blue flash. The men stopped chasing. No chip, no reason to shoot. They cursed loud and walked away. Graham leaned against a post, breathing hard. "You just threw away the only proof we had." Sky looked at the water. "Maybe it's better that way." 3 days passed since Sky threw the chip into the water. 3 days of hiding. Moving from place to place. Sleeping with one eye open. The dog stayed close to her side like he knew something was wrong. Graham had disappeared after that night at the docks. No phone calls. No visits. Nothing. Maybe he gave up. Maybe he figured without the chip, there was nothing left to fight for. But Sky knew better. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the real chip. The one she never threw away. The blue light pulsed soft in her hand. Yeah, she lied. She wasn't stupid. When those men came running with guns, when Graham told her to throw it away, something in her gut said no. Don't trust anyone. Not yet. So she grabbed a piece of metal from the warehouse floor. About the same size. About the same weight. And in the dark, with bullets flying and rain pouring, she threw that instead. Graham never knew. The men never knew. Nobody knew. Except her. And now, sitting in an abandoned subway tunnel with her dog beside her, Sky stared at the chip and whispered, "What are you really worth?" The chip blinked faster. Like it heard her. Like it was answering. Then the hologram appeared again. Brighter this time. Clearer. Files opened in the air in front of her. Documents. Pictures. Videos. All floating like ghosts made of light. And one name kept showing up everywhere, PX-19B Erasure Protocol. What does that even mean? Sky said out loud. The dog whined. She scratched his head. I know, boy. I know. She touched one of the floating files. It opened. A video started playing. A man in a suit stood in front of a screen. He looked important. Powerful. The kind of person who made decisions that changed lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the man said in the video, what you're about to see is the future of control. PX-19B doesn't just track people. It erases them. Completely. From every system. Every database. Every record. It's like they never existed. The camera showed a screen. A person's face. Their name. Their address. Their whole life laid out in data. Then, with one click, it all disappeared. Gone. Like someone hit delete on a human being. Perfect for governments dealing with threats, the man continued. Activists. Journalists. Whistleblowers. Anyone who becomes a problem can simply vanish. Sky's stomach turned. They're erasing people. The video kept playing. The man smiled. And the best part? It's untraceable. No evidence. No trail. No proof they ever existed. The video cut off. The hologram faded. Sky sat there in the dark, holding the chip tight. This wasn't just evidence. This was a weapon. And people were willing to kill for it. I need to find Graham, she said to the dog. He needs to know I still have it. But finding Graham wasn't going to be easy. Because Graham had problems of his own. If you're hooked right now, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This story is about to get even crazier. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now let's see what Graham's been up to. Graham Ward sat in a small motel room on the edge of the city. The kind of place that didn't ask questions. The kind where you paid cash and they didn't care what name you gave. His arms still hurt from the crash. His ribs were bruised. But the physical pain wasn't what kept him awake at night. It was the guilt. He stared at his laptop screen. News articles filled the page. Tech CEO missing after car accident. Graham Ward's company under investigation. Mysterious fire at Ward Industries lab. They were coming for him. His own company. His own partners. The people he trusted. He built Ward Industries from nothing. Worked day and night for 15 years. Created technology that was supposed to help people. Track criminals. Find missing persons. Save lives. But somewhere along the way, it got twisted. The board saw dollar signs. Foreign governments offering millions. Dictators wanting to silence their enemies. And Graham's technology became a tool for evil. When he found out, he tried to stop it. Gathered evidence. Put it all on that chip. Planned to blow the whistle. Go public. Shut it all down. That's when they tried to kill him. Cut his brake lines. Made it look like an accident. Clean. Simple. No questions. But they didn't count on a homeless girl pulling him from a burning car. They didn't count on Sky. Graham's phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. He stared at it. Let it ring twice. 3 times. Then answered. Hello. Mr. Ward. The voice was cold. Familiar. We need to talk. Graham's jaw tightened. Marcus. Marcus Chen. His business partner. His friend. Or at least, he used to be. Where's the chip, Graham? Gone. The girl threw it in the water. I don't believe you. I don't care what you believe. You're making this harder than it needs to be, Marcus said, his voice sharp. Just tell us where the girl is. We'll handle it from there. Handle it? You mean kill her? She's a loose end. She's a kid. She's a problem, Marcus shot back. And problems get solved. One way or another. Graham stood up fast. You touch her, Marcus, and I swear. You'll what? You're a dead man already, Graham. You just don't know it yet. We gave you a chance to walk away. To stay quiet. But you had to play hero. You're erasing people, Marcus. You're helping dictators disappear, activists, journalists, families. I'm making money, Graham. Something you used to understand before you grew a conscience. The line went quiet for a second. Then Marcus spoke again, softer this time. Almost sad. You were my best friend. My partner. We built this together. Why'd you have to ruin it? Because some things matter more than money. Marcus laughed. Cold. Empty. That's where you're wrong. Money is the only thing that matters. Everything else. Just noise. The call ended. Graham stood there, staring at his phone. His hands shaking. Not from fear. From rage. He grabbed his jacket. He needed to find Sky. Before Marcus did. Sky was moving through the subway tunnels when she heard voices. She froze. The dog's ears went up. He growled low. Shoo, Sky whispered, pressing herself against the cold wall. Footsteps. Coming closer. Flashlights cutting through the dark. She's down here somewhere, a man's voice echoed. I can feel it. How do you know? Another voice asked. Because this is where rats hide. L.A. Sky's heart pounded. She looked around fast. Nowhere to run. Just a long tunnel ahead and men behind. She started moving. Quiet. Careful. The dog followed, not making a sound. But then her foot kicked a can. It rattled loud in the silence. There. I heard something. The flashlight swung toward her. The men started running. Sky bolted. Ran through the dark tunnel. The dog right beside her. Her backpack bouncing on her shoulders. The chip burning in her pocket like it was on fire. Stop, one of the men yelled. She didn't stop. She ran faster. Lungs screaming. Legs burning. The tunnel seemed to go on forever. Then she saw it. A ladder. Leading up to a street grate. She grabbed the metal bars and climbed fast. The dog jumped, trying to follow, but he couldn't reach. Come on, boy. Jump, she yelled. He jumped again. This time she caught his collar and pulled him up with one hand. Her arm felt like it was going to rip off, but she didn't let go. The men were right behind them now. Hands reaching up. Sky pushed the grate open and climbed out onto the street. The dog jumped out after her. She slammed the grate shut and ran. Behind her, she heard the men cursing. The grate opening. Footsteps hitting pavement. She turned a corner. Then another. And another. Her vision blurred. Everything hurt. Then someone grabbed her arm. She screamed. Sky. It's me. She looked up. Graham. Standing there, breathing hard, like he'd been running too. How did you? I've been looking for you, he said fast. We need to go. Now. They're right behind me. I know. Come on. He pulled her into an alley. Then through a side door into an old building. Up the stairs. Fast. The dog followed, panting hard. They reached the roof. Graham led her to the edge. A fire escape on the other side. They climbed down. Landed in another alley. Kept moving. Finally, after what felt like forever, they stopped. Hid behind a dumpster. Both of them gasping for air. "You okay?" Graham asked. Sky nodded. "Yeah. You? Been better." They sat there for a minute. Catching their breath. The dog laid down between them, exhausted. "I thought you left," Sky said quiet. "I thought about it," Graham admitted. "Would have been easier. Safer. Then why didn't you?" He looked at her. Really looked at her. "Because you saved my life. And I'm not the kind of man who forgets that." Sky reached into her pocket. Pulled out the chip. Held it up. Graham's eyes went wide. You still have it?" "I lied," she said. "I threw a piece of metal in the water. Not the chip." Graham stared at her. Then he started laughing. Not a happy laugh. More like disbelief. "You're smarter than I gave you credit for." "I've been on the streets for 8 months, Sky said. "You learn not to trust people." "Good," Graham said. "Because trust will get you killed out here." He took the chip from her hand. Looked at it. The blue light reflected in his eyes. "Do you know what this is?" he asked. "Yeah. I saw the video. PX-19B. Erasure Protocol. You're erasing people." "Not me," Graham said quick. "Them. My partners. The board. I tried to stop it. That's why they tried to kill me. So what do we do now?" Graham looked at her. "We finish what I started. We expose them. All of them." "And how do we do that?" "There's a journalist. Her name is Sarah Chen. She's been investigating my company for months. If we can get this chip to her, she can publish everything. Blow the whole thing wide open." "Where is she?" "Downtown. I can get us there." "But Sky." He paused. "Once we do this, there's no going back. They'll come after us with everything they have." Sky looked at the chip. Then at Graham. Then at her dog, who was looking up at her with those big, trusting eyes. "I've been running my whole life," she said. "Maybe it's time I stood still and fought." Graham smiled. "All right then. Let's go to war." They moved through the city streets careful. Staying in shadows. Avoiding cameras. Graham knew the city better than Sky thought. He knew which alleys were safe. Which buildings had back entrances. Which streets to avoid. "You grew up here?" Sky asked. "Yeah," Graham said. "Different life though. Before the money. Before the company." "What was it like?" He was quiet for a second. "A lot like yours, actually. My mom died when I was 15. Dad was gone before that. Foster care. Group homes. The streets." Sky looked at him surprised. "You were homeless?" "For a year. Maybe more. Hard to remember." "How'd you get out?" "Got lucky. A teacher saw something in me. Helped me get into college. Worked 3 jobs to pay for it. Built my first tech prototype in a garage. Sold it. Built another. Sold that. And kept going until I had a company." "So you made it," Sky said. "I made money," Graham corrected. "Making it is different." They walked in silence for a while. Then Sky asked the question that had been bugging her. "Why didn't you just take the chip from me when you found me at the warehouse?" Graham stopped walking. Looked at her. Because you saved my life. I wasn't about to repay that by stealing from you. But you needed it. I needed it. But I needed to be a decent human being more. Sky didn't know what to say to that. In her world, people took what they needed. They didn't ask. They didn't wait. They just took. But Graham was different. Maybe that's why she was starting to trust him. We're almost there, Graham said, pointing to a building ahead. Sarah's office is on the 3rd floor. They walked up to the building. Graham pulled open the door. They stepped inside. The lobby was empty. No security. No cameras. Old building. The kind that's been around forever. They took the stairs. Reached the 3rd floor. Found the door with Sarah Chen's name on it. Graham knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Sarah. It's Graham Ward. I need to talk to you. Still nothing. He tried the door. It opened. Unlocked. They stepped inside. The office was a mess. Papers everywhere. Computer screen smashed. Desk turned over. Something's wrong, Graham said. Sky saw it first. On the wall. Written in red spray paint. Stop looking or you're next. Graham's face went pale. No. No, no, no. What happened here? Sky asked. They got to her first, Graham said, his voice shaking. They knew I'd come here. They knew she was my only shot at going public. So what do we do now? Graham turned to her. His eyes hard. Determined. We do it ourselves. We don't need a journalist. We post everything online. Every file. Every video. Every piece of evidence. We flood the internet with it. They can't stop it all. Can we do that? We can try. Graham pulled out his laptop. Set it on the floor since the desk was broken. Plugged in the chip. Files started downloading. How long will this take? Sky asked. 10 minutes. Maybe less. That's when they heard it. Footsteps in the hallway. Lots of them. The door burst open. Men in black suits. Guns drawn. And in the middle of them, standing there with a cold smile on his face, was Marcus Chen. Hello, Graham, Marcus said. Miss me? The trap had been set. And they walked right into it. Now the real question, can they get out alive? Drop a comment right now, do you think Sky and Graham will make it out? And don't forget to hit subscribe because you won't want to miss the betrayal that's coming. It's going to change everything. 6 guns. All pointed at them. Sky's heart stopped. Her breath caught in her throat. The dog pressed against her leg, growling low and mean. Marcus Chen stood in the doorway like he owned the place. Expensive suit. Perfect hair. Smile that didn't reach his eyes. You really thought I wouldn't know you'd come here? Marcus said, stepping inside. His shoes clicked on the floor. Come on, Graham. I've known you for 15 years. I know how you think. Graham didn't move. His hand was still on the laptop. The chip plugged in. Files downloading. Marcus, please, Graham said quiet. Just let the girl go. This is between you and me. Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. Like it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. Let her go. Graham, she's the reason we're here. She has the chip. She's seen the files. She knows everything. He looked at Sky. You're not walking out of this room, little girl. Sky's hands curled into fists. Don't call me little girl. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Oh, she's got fire. I like that. He turned to his men. Shoot the dog first. Let her watch. No. Sky screamed. But before anyone could move, Graham grabbed the laptop and threw it at the nearest guard. It hit him in the face. Hard. The man went down. Run. Graham yelled. Chaos exploded. Gunshots rang out. Loud. Deafening. Sky dove behind the overturned desk. The dog followed. Graham ducked behind a filing cabinet. Bullets tore through the office. Glass shattered. Papers flew everywhere. The smell of gunpowder filled the air. Sky's ears were ringing. She couldn't think. Couldn't breathe. She looked at the dog. He was shaking. Scared. Just like her. Sky. Graham yelled over the noise. The window. She looked. The window behind her. 3rd floor. Too high to jump. But next to it, a fire escape. She ran for it. Stayed low. Bullets zipped past her head. One hit the wall right next to her. So close she felt the heat. She grabbed the window. Pushed it open. Climbed out onto the fire escape. The dog jumped out after her. Then Graham. They ran down the metal stairs. Fast. Their feet clanging loud. Behind them, men climbed out the window. Chasing them. Keep going. Graham shouted. They hit the ground. Ran into the alley. Turned left. Then right. Then left again. The city was a maze. And Sky knew mazes. She'd been running through them her whole life. But this time was different. This time she wasn't alone. They didn't stop running until they were 10 blocks away. Hidden in an abandoned parking garage. 4th level. No cars. No people. Just concrete and shadows. Sky collapsed against a wall. Gasping. Her chest felt like it was on fire. The dog laid down next to her, panting hard. Graham leaned against a pillar. Breathing heavy. His face was pale. Sweating. You okay? Sky asked between breaths. Yeah. You. Been better. They sat there in silence for a minute. Catching their breath. Listening for footsteps. For voices. For anything. Nothing. We lost them, Graham said finally. For now, Sky added. Graham nodded. He looked at his hands. They were shaking. I'm sorry, Sky. For what? For getting you into this. You saved my life and I brought you nothing but trouble. Sky looked at him. Really looked at him. His expensive clothes were torn now. Dirty. His face had cuts on it. Blood on his collar. He looked human. Not like a rich CEO. Just, human. You didn't force me to keep the chip, Sky said. That was my choice. Still. You're a kid. You shouldn't be running for your life. I've been running my whole life, Sky said quiet. At least now I know what I'm running from. Graham looked at her. Something in his eyes changed. Respect maybe. Or understanding. What do we do now? Sky asked. The laptop's gone. The chip's gone. We've got nothing. Graham reached into his jacket pocket. Pulled out a small USB drive. Held it up. Sky's eyes went wide. You copied the files. While you were watching the door. Took 30 seconds. He smiled a little. Always have a backup plan. So we can still do this. We can still expose them. Yeah. But not here. Not in the city. Marcus owns half the cops. Half the government. We need to get somewhere safe. Somewhere he can't reach us. Where? I know a place. Small town. 3 hours north. I have a cabin there. No one knows about it. Not even Marcus. How do we get there? We don't have a car. Graham stood up. We steal one. Sky looked at him surprised. You're gonna steal a car? You think you're the only one who knows how to survive? He held out his hand. Come on. Let's go. Sky took his hand. Stood up. The dog stood too. Ready to move. But before they could take a step, a voice echoed through the parking garage. Going somewhere? They froze. Marcus walked out from behind a concrete pillar. Alone this time. No guards. No guns. Just him. How did you? Graham started. Tracker, Marcus said, pointing at Graham's jacket. In your coat. Been following you the whole time. Graham ripped off his jacket. Threw it on the ground. But it was too late. Marcus was already here. You know what your problem is, Graham? Marcus said, walking closer. You think you're smarter than everyone else. You think you can outthink me. Outplan me. But you forget, I taught you everything you know. I never learned how to be a monster, Graham shot back. Marcus smiled. Cold. No, you just became rich off technology that could be weaponized. But when it actually got weaponized, suddenly you grew a conscience. Funny how that works. We were supposed to help people. We are helping people. Just not the people you care about. Marcus stopped a few feet away. The world isn't black and white, Graham. It's green. Money green. And we're sitting on a gold mine. By erasing innocent people. By erasing problems. There's a difference. Not to me. Marcus sighed. Like he was tired. Like this conversation was boring him. I really hoped you'd see reason. That's why I came alone. To give you one last chance. Chance to do what? Walk away. Give me the USB drive. Take the girl and disappear. I'll even give you money. Enough to start over somewhere far away. New name. New life. You'll never hear from me again. Sky looked at Graham. His jaw was tight. Eyes hard. And if I say no? Graham asked. Marcus's face went cold. Then I kill the girl. Right here. Right now. And I make you watch. The air got heavy. Thick. Like before a storm. Sky's heart was pounding so hard she thought it might explode. The dog growled. Louder this time. You won't do that, Graham said. But his voice shook a little. Won't I? Marcus pulled out a gun. Small. Silver. Pointed it at Sky. I've killed for less. You know that. Graham stepped in front of Sky. Blocking her. Marcus, please. Give me the drive, Graham. No. Give me the drive. No. Marcus's finger moved to the trigger. Then she dies. Everything slowed down. Sky could see it happening. Could see Marcus about to pull the trigger. Could see Graham standing there, unarmed, helpless. She did the only thing she could think of. She ran. Not away. Toward Marcus. Full speed. Sky, no. Graham yelled. But she didn't stop. She crashed into Marcus like a linebacker. He wasn't expecting it. Wasn't ready. They both went down. Hard. The gun flew out of his hand. Slid across the concrete. Marcus grabbed her. Threw her off. She hit the ground. Pain shot through her shoulder. Graham dove for the gun. Got it. Turned it on Marcus. Don't move, Graham said. His hand shaking. The gun shaking with it. Marcus stood up slow. Hands up. But he was smiling. Still smiling. You won't shoot me, Graham. You're not a killer. Try me. I know you. You don't have it in you. Graham's finger was on the trigger. His whole body shaking. Sky could see it in his eyes. The war happening inside him. The choice. Kill Marcus. End this. Or let him go and keep running forever. Do it, Marcus said. Pull the trigger. Prove me wrong. Seconds passed. Felt like hours. Then Graham lowered the gun. You're right. I'm not a killer. Marcus laughed. I knew it. I knew you couldn't. Bang. The gunshot echoed through the garage. Loud. Final. Sky looked up. Graham was still holding the gun. But it wasn't pointed at Marcus anymore. It was pointed at the ground. Marcus looked down at his leg. Blood spreading through his pants. He'd been shot. Not killed. But hurt. Bad. He fell to one knee. Gasping. You shot me. I said I'm not a killer, Graham said. I didn't say I wouldn't hurt you. He walked over to Marcus. Looked down at him. Stay away from us. Stay away from the girl. Or next time, I won't aim for your leg. Marcus glared up at him. Hatred burning in his eyes. This isn't over. Yeah. It is. Graham grabbed Sky's hand. Come on. They ran. Out of the parking garage. Into the street. The dog right behind them. Behind them, Marcus screamed. You're dead. You hear me? Both of you are dead. But they didn't look back. They just ran. If your heart is racing right now, hit that like button. And if you think Graham did the right thing, drop a comment. Because this story is about to reach is just starting. Subscribe so you don't miss it. They found a car. Old. Rusty. Parked in an alley with the keys still in it. Graham didn't ask questions. Just got in. Sky and the dog climbed in the back. Graham started the engine. It coughed. Sputtered. Then roared to life. They drove. Out of the city. Onto the highway. Away from everything. Sky watched the city lights fade in the distance. All those buildings. All those people. And somewhere back there, Marcus was probably calling every person he knew. Putting a target on their backs. We can't run forever, Sky said from the back seat. Graham looked at her in the rearview mirror. I know. So what's the plan? We get to the cabin. We upload the files. Every news site. Every social media platform. Every place we can think of. We flood the internet with evidence. Make it impossible for them to cover up. And then. Graham paused. And then we hope it's enough. They drove in silence for a while. The road stretched out ahead of them. Dark. Empty. The headlights cutting through the night. Graham. Sky said quiet. Yeah. Thank you. For not letting him hurt me. Graham's hands tightened on the wheel. You don't have to thank me for that. Still. You could have run. You could have left me. No, I couldn't. Why not? Graham was quiet for a long time. Then he said, because a long time ago, I was you. Alone. Scared. No one helping. And I promised myself if I ever got the chance, I'd be the person I needed back then. Sky felt something in her chest. Warm. Strange. Like hope. We're gonna make it, right? She asked. We're gonna win. Graham looked at her in the mirror again. I don't know, Sky. I really don't know. The truth hung in the air. Heavy. Real. Because they both knew what was coming. Marcus wasn't going to stop. He'd send everyone. Use every resource. Call in every favor. Hunt them down like animals. The war was just beginning. And wars had casualties. 2 hours into the drive, Graham pulled off the highway. Small gas station. Middle of nowhere. I need to fill up, he said. You two stay in the car. Sky nodded. Watched him get out. Walk to the pump. Start filling the tank. She looked at the dog. He was sleeping. Tired from all the running. She pet his head softly. That's when she saw it. Through the gas station window. A TV mounted on the wall. News playing. Her face was on the screen. Engrams. Breaking news, tech CEO and homeless girl wanted for murder. Sky's blood ran cold. She got out of the car. Walked closer to the window. Read the caption at the bottom of the screen. Marcus Chen, tech executive, found dead in parking garage. Graham Ward and unidentified girl seen fleeing the scene. Dead. Marcus was dead. But Graham didn't kill him. He shot his leg. Not his chest. Not his head. His leg. Someone else killed Marcus. After they left. And now they were being blamed for it. No, Sky whispered. No, no, no. Graham saw her face. Saw the TV. His face went white. He walked over. Read the screen. That's impossible. I didn't. I know, Sky said. But they're saying you did. Graham's phone buzzed. He pulled it out. Read the message. His hand started shaking. What? Sky asked. What is it? Graham looked at her. Fear in his eyes. Real fear. They're saying we killed Sarah Chin too. The journalist. They found her body. But we didn't. I know. But someone's setting us up. Framing us. Making us look like the bad guys. Who would? Sky stopped. The answer hit her like a truck. The board. Marcus's partners. They killed him. They killed Sarah. And now they're blaming us. Graham nodded slow. We're not just running from criminals anymore, Sky. We're running from the law. Sky's legs felt weak. She leaned against the car. What do we do? Graham looked at the road. Then at the USB drive in his pocket. Then at Sky. We finish this. We upload everything. Even if it means we go down with them. They'll catch us. Probably. We'll go to jail. Maybe. We could die. Yeah. Sky looked at him. Then at the dog. Then at the dark road ahead. Her whole life had been about survival. About staying hidden. About not making waves. But maybe it was time to make some waves. Big ones. Okay, she said. Let's do it. Graham smiled. Sad. But proud. You're braver than me, you know that. I learned from the best. They got back in the car. Graham started the engine. Pulled out of the gas station. They drove into the night. Toward the cabin. Toward the end of everything. Behind them, police sirens wailed in the distance. Getting closer. The hunt was on. They were framed for murder. Hunted by the law. Running out of time. But Sky and Graham had one last card to play. And it was going to change everything. Comment right now, do you think they'll make it to the cabin? Or will they get caught first? Hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss what's coming. The cabin appeared through the trees like a ghost. Small. Wooden. Hidden deep in the forest where no roads went. Where no one looked. Graham killed the headlights. Rolled the car to a stop. Quiet. They sat there for a moment. Listening. Watching. Nothing. Just wind through the trees. Just darkness. This is it? Sky asked from the back seat. This is it. They got out. The dog jumped out after them. Stretched. Sniffed the air. Graham unlocked the cabin door. It creaked open. Smelled like dust and old wood. He flipped a switch. One light bulb flickered on. Weak. Yellow. But it was enough. Inside was simple. One room. A bed. A table. A chair. And most important, a laptop on the table. Old. Covered in dust. But it worked. Graham checked. No internet though, he said. I'll have to use my phone as a hotspot. How long will the upload take? Sky asked. Graham plugged in the USB drive. Files started loading on the screen. Hundreds of them. Videos. Documents. Pictures. Everything. 20 minutes. Maybe 30. Sky looked out the window. Dark forest. No lights. No houses. No people. They were alone. For now. What do we do after? She asked quiet. Graham didn't answer right away. He just stared at the screen. At the files uploading. At the evidence that would destroy everything he'd built. After, he said finally. After, we run. Or we turn ourselves in. Or we die trying to do the right thing. Sky sat on the floor. The dog laid next to her. She scratched his head. I'm scared. Me too. I've never been this scared. Graham looked at her. Really looked at her. This 13-year-old girl who'd saved his life. Who'd run through gunfire. Who'd tackled a man with a gun. Who'd risked everything for someone she didn't even know. You're the bravest person I've ever met, he said. I don't feel brave. Brave people never do. The laptop beeped. Upload at 5%. They waited. Seconds felt like hours. Every sound outside made them jump. Every branch breaking. Every wind gust. Everything. Sky pulled her knees to her chest. Graham. Yeah. If we don't make it, if something happens. I just want you to know. Don't, Graham said. Don't talk like that. But if we don't. We will. How do you know? Graham looked at her. Because we have to. Because if we don't, they win. And I'm not letting them win. Upload at 15%. Sky stood up. Walked to the window. Looked out at the dark. You know what's funny? What? A week ago, I had nothing. No home. No food. No future. I was invisible. And now? She laughed. Bitter. Now I'm on the news. Now everyone knows my face. Now I'm wanted for murder. You didn't murder anyone. I know. But they don't care about the truth. They care about the story. And the story is that a homeless girl and a corrupt CEO killed two people. We'll prove them wrong. Will we? Before Graham could answer, the dog started barking. Loud. Aggressive. They both froze. "What is it, boy?" Sky whispered. The dog ran to the door. Kept barking. Clawing at it. Then they heard it. Engines. Cars. Multiple cars. Coming through the forest. Graham ran to the window. Looked out. His face went pale. No. What? What is it? Police. Lots of them. Sky's heart dropped. She ran to the window. Saw the lights. Red and blue. Flashing through the trees. Getting closer. "How did they find us?" she asked. Graham looked at his phone. Then his eyes went wide. "The phone. They tracked my phone." "Turn it off. It's too late. They're already here." "Upload at 25%. "How long do we need?" Sky asked. 10 more minutes. Maybe less. Then we hold them off." Graham looked at her. "Sky, there's at least 20 cops out there. We can't." "We can. We have to." The cars stopped outside. Doors opened. Voices. Lots of voices. "This is the police. Come out with your hands up." Graham looked at the laptop. At the files still uploading. At Sky. At the door. He made a choice. "Stay here," he said. "Keep the upload going. Don't stop no matter what." "What are you going to do?" "Buy you time." Graham, no. But he was already walking to the door. He opened it. Stepped outside. Hands up. Flashlights hit his face. Blinding. He couldn't see. Just light. Just voices. Graham Ward. "Get on the ground. I'm unarmed." Graham yelled back. "I'm coming out. Don't shoot." He walked forward slow. Hands still up. "I'm surrendering. Just don't hurt the girl." "Where is she?" "Inside. She's just a kid. She didn't do anything wrong. Get on the ground now." Graham dropped to his knees. Then to his stomach. Face in the dirt. Hands behind his head. Cops rushed forward. Grabbed him. Cuffed him. Pulled him up. "You're under arrest for the murder of Marcus Chen and Sarah Chen." "I didn't kill them," Graham said. "I have proof. Evidence. It's uploading right now." "Sure you do," one cop said. Didn't believe him. Didn't care. They dragged him toward a car. Graham looked back at the cabin. At the window. Saw Sky watching. Her face pressed against the glass. "G.O.," he mouthed. "Run." But she didn't run. She just stood there. Watching them take him. Inside the cabin, Sky's hands were shaking. The laptop was at 40%. Not enough. Not yet. She heard more voices outside. Searched the cabin. Footsteps. Coming to the door. Sky looked at the dog. At the laptop. At the window. She had two choices. Run and save herself. Or stay and finish the upload. The door burst open. Two cops. Guns drawn. "Don't move." Sky put her hands up. But she stepped in front of the laptop. Blocking it with her body. "Step away from the table," one cop yelled. "No. Step away now. Not until the files finish uploading." The cop moved closer. "What files?" "The truth. About Marcus Chen. About his company. About everything." The cop looked at his partner. Then back at Sky. Kid, I don't know what you're talking about. But you need to come with us. 5 more minutes, Sky said. Just give me 5 more minutes. We don't have 5 minutes. 50%. The cop reached for her. Sky dodged. Grabbed the laptop. Ran to the corner. Hey! The dog jumped between them. Barking. Snarling. Protecting Sky. Call the dog off or we'll shoot it, the cop yelled. No. Don't hurt him. Then come with us. Sky looked at the screen. 60%. She was out of time. Then she heard it. A voice from outside. Loud. Clear. Stand down. The cops stopped. Looked at each other. Confused. A woman walked into the cabin. Older. Gray hair. Suit. Badge on her belt. FBI. Agent Morrison, she said, showing her badge. Everyone out. Now. But ma'am. I said out. The cops left. Reluctant. But they left. Agent Morrison looked at Sky. Then at the laptop. Then back at Sky. You're the girl from the news, she said. Not a question. A statement. Sky nodded. I didn't kill anyone. I know. Sky's eyes went wide. You know. I've been investigating Ward Industries for 6 months. I know about PX-19B. I know about the Erasure Protocol. I know Marcus Chen was dirty. I know Graham Ward tried to stop it. She walked closer. And I know someone set you both up. Then why didn't you help us? I didn't have proof. Until now. She looked at the laptop. 70%. Is that the evidence? Sky nodded. Agent Morrison pulled out her phone. Made a call. This is Morrison. I need a full forensic team at my location. And I need Marcus Chen's autopsy report pulled immediately. Check for something the locals missed. She hung up. Looked at Sky. How long? 3 more minutes. Then we wait. They stood there in silence. Watching the upload bar crawl forward. 80%. 90%. Why are you helping us? Sky asked. Agent Morrison sighed. Because I was you once. Long time ago. Different situation. But same feeling. Alone. Scared. Everyone thinking I was guilty when I wasn't. She looked at Sky. Someone helped me then. Now I'm helping you. 95%. Outside, more cars pulled up. More agents. Morrison's team. 98%. Almost there, Morrison said. 99%. Sky held her breath. 100%. Upload complete. The screen flashed green. Files appeared on news websites. Social media. Everywhere. All at once. Evidence. Videos. Documents. The whole truth about PX-19B. About the board. About the murders. About everything. The internet exploded. Within minutes, it was trending worldwide. Hashtag PX-19B. Hashtag Ward Industries. Hashtag Erasure Protocol. Everyone was seeing it. Everyone was sharing it. Everyone knew. Agent Morrison's phone started ringing. Non-stop. She answered. Listened. Her face went hard. We got them, she said. The board just got arrested. All of them. And the autopsy report came back. Marcus Chen was shot twice. Once in the leg. Once in the head. Different guns. Different shooters. Sky's legs felt weak. Graham only shot him once. I know. The second shot came from someone else. Someone on the board. They killed Marcus to frame you. But they didn't count on forensics. So we're clear. Graham and me. Morrison nodded. You're clear. Sky felt something inside her break. Relief. Pure relief. She dropped to her knees. Started crying. The dog ran to her. Licked her face. It's over, Morrison said gently. You did it. If you felt that relief, hit that like button right now. And drop a comment, did you think they'd make it? Subscribe because you need to see how this story ends. 2 weeks later. Sky stood outside a courtroom. Big building. Marble floors. Lots of people in suits. Graham walked out. No handcuffs this time. Free. Cleared of all charges. He saw her. Smiled. Walked over. Hey, he said. Hey. They stood there for a second. Just looking at each other. Two people who'd been through hell and back. They're giving me my company back, Graham said. What's left of it anyway? Most of the board is in prison. The technology is being destroyed. All of it. That's good, Sky said. Yeah. Silence. Awkward. Like they didn't know what to say now that it was over. So what are you going to do now? Graham asked. Sky shrugged. I don't know. Foster care, I guess. They found me a home. Nice people. They seem okay. Just okay. Better than the streets. Graham nodded. Then he pulled out an envelope. Handed it to her. What's this? She asked. Open it. She did. Inside was a check. A lot of zeros. More money than she'd ever seen. I can't take this, she said. Yes you can. Graham. Sky, you saved my life. Twice. You risked everything to help me. The least I can do is make sure you're taken care of. But. No buts. Take it. Use it for school. For your future. For whatever you need. He smiled. You're going to do great things, Sky. I know it. Tears filled her eyes. She threw her arms around him. Hugged him tight. Thank you, she whispered. No. Thank you. They pulled apart. Sky wiped her eyes. What about you? She asked. What are you going to do? Start over. Build something good this time. Something that actually helps people. He looked at her. And I'm starting a foundation. For homeless kids. Kids like you. Kids like I used to be. That's amazing. I'm calling it the Sky Foundation. She stared at him. You're naming it after me. Why not? You're the one who reminded me what courage looks like. Sky didn't know what to say. So she just smiled. Big. Real. The dog barked. They both looked down. He was wagging his tail. Happy. You keeping him? Graham asked. Yeah. I named him Hero. Good name. They walked out of the courthouse together. The sun was shining. People were everywhere. Living their lives. Not knowing what these two had been through. Graham. Sky said. Yeah. I'm glad I pulled you out of that car. Graham smiled. Me too, kid. Me too. 6 months later. Sky sat in a classroom. Real classroom. Clean desk. Books. Pencils. Everything. She was behind in most subjects. But she was catching up. Slowly. Her foster parents helped. Graham helped. Agent Morrison checked in sometimes. She wasn't invisible anymore. People knew her face. Knew her story. Some treated her like a hero. Some didn't care. But everyone saw her. And that was enough. After school, she walked to the bridge. The one where it all started. Where she used to sleep on cardboard. Where she used to be nobody. Hero walked beside her. Bigger now. Healthy. Happy. She stood there. Looking at her old spot. Hard to believe it was only 6 months ago. A woman walked up. Homeless. Thin. Dirty clothes. Holding a sign asking for help. Sky reached into her pocket. Pulled out a $20 bill. Handed it to her. Here, Sky said. The woman looked at her. Surprised. Thank you. There's a shelter 2 blocks that way, Sky said. They can help. Tell them Sky sent you. The woman's eyes filled with tears. Bless you. Sky watched her walk away. Then she looked at Hero. Ready to go home? He barked. Home. She had a home now. A real one. They walked away from the bridge. Toward the light. Toward the future. Behind her, the city kept moving. Cars. Trains. Voices. But this time, Sky wasn't invisible. This time, she mattered. And she always would. This isn't just a story about a homeless girl who saved a rich man. It's about what happens when we choose courage over fear. When we choose to help even when it costs us everything. When we refuse to be invisible. Sky had every reason to walk away from that burning car. Every reason to stay hidden. Every reason to protect herself. But she didn't. She ran toward the fire. She saved a life. And in doing so, she saved herself. Graham had every reason to run. To take his money and disappear. To let the corruption continue as long as he was safe. But he didn't. He stood and fought. He risked everything. And he found something more valuable than all his wealth, purpose. Together, they proved something important. That courage doesn't come from having everything. It comes from giving everything. That heroes aren't born. They're made in moments of choice. In seconds when we decide between easy and right. The world is full of people who need help. People who are invisible. People who are suffering in silence. And the world is full of people who can help. Who have the power to change lives. Who just need to choose to see. Sky chose to see Graham when he was dying in that car. Graham chose to see Sky when everyone else looked away. And together, they changed everything. So here's my question for you, who are you going to see today? What fire are you going to run toward? What choice are you going to make? Because every single one of us has the power to save someone. To help someone. To see someone who's invisible. All we have to do is choose. If this story moved you, here's what I need you to do. 1. Smash that like button. Show this video some love. 2. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We drop powerful stories like this every single week. Stories that make you think. Stories that make you feel. Stories that matter. 3. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's struggling. Someone who feels invisible. Someone who needs to know that courage can come from anywhere. 4. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one act of kindness you're going to do this week? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Just something good. Something that matters. And if you're going through something right now. If you feel alone. If you feel invisible. If you feel like nobody sees you. I see you. You matter. Your story matters. Don't give up. Sometimes the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Sometimes the hardest struggles create the strongest people. Sometimes saving someone else is how we save ourselves. Sky was homeless. Forgotten. Invisible. But she became a hero. Graham was rich. Powerful. Successful. But he was empty until he found purpose. Both of them were broken. Both of them were lost. But together, they found their way. And so can you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being someone who cares about stories that matter. This is Top Story. And I'll see you in the next one. Remember, be brave. Be kind. And never stop fighting for what's right.